even leave off? I don't even remember.
We were like right at. I think we left off right at the Ravager boss fight, or at least moments before having to unlock the boss fight because we got to do puzzle.
The Lost Temple checkpoint?
Yeah, should be.
Here we go. Here we go. Boop, 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 boop. Forged iron makes me want to play 7 days. All right. I gotta remember all my stuff. Let's see, vigor. It doesn't really give you a whole lot of fucking health. Like I have a total of 118 health.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it doesn't really add much health.
Stamina's kind of the same way, but I was getting points in the expertise. I started putting some points in the amplitude. I got 4 points into siphon. And 2 points in the revivalist. Alright. Where'd you go? I'm coming.
I'm just making sure we pulled the lever up here, which connects to the water wheel. Which we did.
Pull the lever, bro.
Wrong lever! Alright, where to, my guide?
Alrighty, so this is a puzzle.
Puzzle?
Yes.
Is it a musical puzzle?
Yep.
Are we supposed to match the notes that I'm hearing?
Yeah, and there's a book over yonder. Wrong button.
I can run fast as fuck, boy!
Oh, that is what the button did. I was like, I pulled the thing. I hit the button. I was like, oh yeah, what does that do? It makes you run fast as fuck.
Alright, am I supposed to tell you what these symbols are? I can't.
One second.
Say, if you want me to know what music symbols mean,
It's a circle with a line going up, attached to another one.
that's why I just took a picture of it. You just tell me where the thing is, and I'll do the stuff.
Well, come over here real quick.
I'm coming. Did you already solve it?
No, this is this one I have memorized because it took me like 3 weeks to figure it out.
Hmm.
Maybe I don't want to play this game.
Well, I was trying to figure it out without help, and you have to like gather clues.
The
It's
bolt
annoying.
driver. What is the bolt driver?
It's a handgun.
It is a handgun. Ingenious gold
Alright.
rifle designed to harness energy from hand crystals. Charges a fire a 3-shot burst. Wow.
Yeah, there is, if you go to the wheel,
Uh-huh.
there's symbols, yeah?
Yeah.
So you want the...
The upside down Nike schwa. Or
Yeah. There's an upside down Nike schwa. There's a vertical upside down Nike schwa with a circle with the point going to the right and point to the top.
so do I just lower the peg? Like when do I lower the peg?
So the first one you want the reverse Nike schwa. That peg you want up.
Oh, you want that one up. Okay.
Yep.
And
Now go to the next row.
the vertical one up or
Yeah.
down? Oh, wait.
No. The next row is blank. So the second row there should have no pegs up.
Oh yeah.
And then go to the third row,
Okay, third row.
and that's the vertical one with the 2 circles.
Uh-huh.
And then the next row should be none.
Yep.
Go to the next row,
Uh,
and that has the
I cannot go to the next row. The wheel won't turn.
you should be going down.
I was going down. All right, hold on. let me start this over. Okay, so raise this one. That
So
one's
go
raised.
all the way to the top.
Yeah, I'm at the top now. Blank, raise. That one down. And then the leaf.
The middle one. And then I forget the next 2.
Then this one.
One
and
moment, please,
this
while I
one.
run back over to the book.
I have a picture of it.
Oh.
Well, hopefully that worked. Does it sound right?
Yeah, you did it.
All right, now let's play some Nickelback. Look at this photograph.
But no, this is one of my favorite set pieces in this game. Is this fucking drum?
It's really cool. I accidentally used one of my quick items, and I don't know what it is. It kind of looks like a turd.
It's probably a blood root.
Yeah, I think so. Hooah. Ethereal orb, dwell. Brought all kinds of treasures from Yasha. I once fell in with some rebels there. Long time. It's gone.
And it's gone.
Oh, I triggered a cutscene.
That's alright.
Your timing is fortuitous.
Hey, buddy. You don't look so good.
It's been long since I've seen one of your kind. But then, what is time to a god?
What kind of question is that?
Do you think yourself clever, cub?
I have my moments. This is I'm a laugh riot.
Your impudence is its own answer.
Am I gonna piss this thing off?
Let me guess. You're here on a quest.
Why does a god need help from a bunch of dead wood?
destinies are entwined.
Mm-hmm.
Your timing is fortuitous. Walk with me, cub. I will explain.
I can only imagine if this was actually us. Would you stop trying to piss off the giant thing?
That is when they found me and offered me their enlightenment. Blind was I until they opened my eye to the lies of permanence.
Uh-huh.
Oh, the feeble empress craves her fruit, tries to guzzle immortality. But all things die, cub. Even gods.
Do you know Kratos?
Theirs is mastery of death. The all that is nothing. And so I offer the choice they offered, cub.
I think I saw somewhere that they're going to make that into an Amazon series, like live action.
Break the yoke of balance.
It would work if they
Would
get
be
the casting right.
Eternal.
Chris, I don't know about you, but I don't want to help this thing.
Between ego and soul cannot be crossed without paying a toll.
He's got too many eyes, and he's got tentacles and arms.
Here bleeds the lie. Here mules the old order. Kill it. Kill the dough, and we shall seal our pact.
I don't want to kill the dough.
So, you have options here.
Okay. I can kill the dough.
You can kill the dough.
Mm-hmm.
You can shoot the giant wolf thing, or if you turn around and go up to the dough, you can actually heal it.
To the greater glory
Oh.
of both.
I don't think he liked that.
Nope.
Oh! Oh, shit! The dough just said, fuck you! Boss fight. Enjoy the fart. Oh, that shouldn't have hit me.
Ads.
Copy. I'm reloading. Yeah. Bad dog. Yeah. You good?
I'm good.
Let me know if you need some help.
Yeah, I didn't die.
Always a bonus.
Now I need help.
Ow.
Here they come.
shot you with a shockwave. Oh, I was gonna say, did a sack break? I shot you by accident. Good, I was far enough away. Oh shit, completely out of that ammo. Reloading. Oh, I'm out of ammo. There we go.
Yay!
I had nothing left. Which is weird because I ran over a bunch of ammo to pick it up, but I guess my guy was just like, nah.
You gotta actually pick it up.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You have to actually hit the button. That's why I wasn't picking it up. Hey. Well, you know what? After a long break, we got that motherfucker first try.
I mean, he's one of the easier bosses.
It doesn't matter, all right? Don't take this from me. What's this? A book. The sun, the moon, life, death, the doe, the ravager. In the begin. Wait, is this another puzzle?
It's remember the one room with the astrolabe thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the same book.
I'm assuming it might have different combos.
No, I think it's the same exact book.
All right. Well, what did we get from this motherfucker? We got a the doe's antler. I got a segment. Got another trait.
Segment of.
Just a segment. I forgot. Is there a button to turn on the flashlights that we have connected to our chest?
Not G. L.
Oh.
For light.
Generally, I like to use F. Flashlight. Wait, can we go through that? The door?
Yeah, that's where we came in.
Oh. Is there
So
any-
from here, we gotta go to the labyrinth.
Okay.
Because the segment's for the giant eyeball thing.
Oh, yeah. Interdimensional transportation. I still remember coming here. Don't right through the
Oh man,
portal.
we can actually go straight to the place.
Yeah, isn't this it?
I mean, or we can run through here and run. But
Like I clicked the exclamation point. This is where it brought me. Celebratory fart. Except it's just me now. I fart alone. The eyeball's looking at us.
yeah, we don't go that way. We go this way.
You mean we don't try to jump it like Neo? Free your mind.
I mean, you can if you want to.
No. I have died enough times in this game.
But yeah, there's a checkpoint right here, so we can actually.
Well, like I said, it told me to come right here. That's where the exclamation point was.
Yeah, it's all good. And this is my second favorite set piece from this game, with all the glowy tendrils.
Reminds me of the Abyss. I see she's reached enlightenment. She has reached nirvana.
And she's actually acting as a stabilizing measure for the entire universe, but
Yeah. Hello, eyeball. It's looking into my soul, Chris.
The index is almost complete. One more segment is needed. Yes. Clementine's power stabilizes those realms not yet lost to corruption. Our bond deepens. She is strong. She is,
Is the eyeball catching feelings?
but she still has limits. Please, hurry.
What happens if I poke it? Chris decided to poke it with a bullet. He said, "Hey, does this hurt?" Is there secrets?
yes and no. So, I was playing with some randoms, and I walked off this ledge. I was checking stuff out, not paying attention, and I walked right off, and the guy laughed at me.
I'd laugh too. Not as hard as the time that I was playing Travis in Star Wars. And he just leapt. I thought I was gonna die. I laughed so hard because I was following a guy. Travis was behind me. The guy in front, he jumps over this thing, goes across the bridge. I jump over the thing and I start going across the bridge. Travis jumps and doesn't realize that there's a gap between the bridge and where we jump. And he goes, whoop, and disappears off my screen. Oh my god. There's a big boy. Hold on, Chris. I'm coming. Apparently drunk, though. Hey, buddy.
He got me with his stomp, stomp, stomp.
Hey, dude. I got you with my little heart. He also dropped some stuff. I see a glowy crystal thing. Is this next? Oh, yep. Exclamation
Yeah.
point. Alright, biome portal key. Take us to Sesame Street.
I mean, if Sesame Street was infested with Fae, you'd be about right.
Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? I fucking haven't heard that fucking video in so long. It's so stupid. Alright, I'm gonna take my root rot ring off in place of something better. We have so many goddamn rings to choose from.
Oh, we're about to get more.
Well, I'll try that ring. Fast as fuck, boy. Fast as fuck, boy.
So, this guy's a dick.
Huh? Who? This guy?
That guy.
What's this doing here?
That guy.
This looks interesting.
Oh, that guy.
What's this doing here?
And these two are his, like, eviler twins.
Hmm. So everybody's a dick.
They're Fae.
Dicks. Got it. Never trust a Fae. Perhaps they'll be impressed by my swad. Oh, look, it's Tyrael. Wrong button. I meant to hit the crouch button. And it's Alt. We're in some guy's palace just wrecking shit. A library. I'm gonna knock over some books. No human being would stack books like this. Fuck your books. Uh-oh. Somebody got pissed that I knocked over some books. Yeah, that guy. He doesn't like the fact that we're not using the Dewey Decimal System.
Don't you know the Dewey Decimal System?
What does this do? There's a door there.
Remnant 2, when I launched it, the online matchmaking was defaulted to
Interesting.
Ow! Ow! Itch. I have a purple thing.
Eyes up. Might not be over.
Yeah,
I don't know what that status ailment is.
it's a curse, I believe.
Now, I'm gonna have to read this book. The Feast of the Forest King. One day, the Forest King announced an enormous feast and invited every animal. Okay, we got a piece of something. Every animal of the forest. And one of you will receive my boon, the invitation said. But whomever displeases me will receive a bow. Which meant a noose. Oh, for every animal knew the king's capriciousness and cruelty. So all the animals came. The Jubhawk put on his finest clothes, preening his feathers, polishing his horns. The Hind fluffed its gills and licked its eyes, gross, cleaner than they had ever been. The Nara shed a new skin and combed its tails. Every animal presented their very best. All except the dropper, whose coat dripped with cave slime and smelled of wild fungus. Gross. What are you doing? The Jabhawk snapped. Why have you not groomed for the king? The dropper yawned. Your posturing looks so unpleasant. Everyone is stiff and miserable. You should have at least bathed, said the Jabhawk. The Jubhawk. If the king notices you, then you will surely hang. The dropper shrugged. At least I am comfortable. The feast was served, though the king had not yet arrived. The animals praised the spread, though they ate little for fear of appearing gluttonous. The dropper, however, appreciated none of it. Tearing into his food like one half-starved. You fool! The feast is for show, hissed the Jubhawk. The king is surely watching. Then I may die, the dropper said. Crumbs from a large piece of apple cake spilled from his mouth. But I will not die empty. Afterwards, with a loud fanfare, the king arrived and took his place at the head of the table. The animals rose and bowed, all except the dropper, who was so full he could not stand. While the others stood in front of him, blocking his view, he scratched his belly and let loose a roaring belch. All in attendance gasped in horror, but the crowd was so great that the king could not see who was at fault. Who was that? Bellowed the king. Tell me, and you may yet live. But the animals were afraid of drawing attention to themselves, so no one moved. But the Jubhawk feared staying quiet even more, and so, though it betrayed his friend, he raised one clawed wing and pointed it at the now sleeping dropper. It was him, your majesty. The dropper dishonored your otherwise divine feast. The dropper snored like a wood beetle. His fur was caked with drink and apple crumbs. The king barked his name. Wake and speak for yourself. The dropper startled awake. He looked around and saw all eyes on him, most notably the forest king's. He swallowed. It was a good feast, he said. I enjoyed it very much, though I may never eat again. Silence boomed throughout the feasting hall. Everyone watched the king, both excited and terrified by what he might do. Without warning, the king's head flew back and he roared in laughter. The other animals remained silent, paralyzed in their fear. The foolish Dropper grinned sleepily. When the king stopped laughing, he said, "You will eat again, Dropper, and this and much more. For more than any other, you have enjoyed the feast I laid out before you, and so you shall receive my boon." And the king ordered that the food be brought to the Dropper's cave every day, enough to keep him fed and fat for the rest of his days. Then the king pointed at the Jubhawk. "But you betrayed your friend for a boon. You are more treacherous and selfish than any of my subjects. And so, your neck shall receive a bow." And he ordered him arrested. That evening, the Jubhawk was hanged, though by the time of the execution, the king had forgotten his crime, and so none was posted. The Jubhawk died for nothing, but the Dropper was, and still is, happy to this day. The moral of the story: posture for no one, boons and bows be damned. Enjoy your story.
There's more.
Oh, there's more!
There's another one right here.
Okay, do you want me to read it? You can read it. You're more than welcome to. You're here. Remember, when the king speaks, you gotta do a booming voice.
The birth of the Fae. In the beginning times, the Fae did suffer from a terrible disease known as the wasting. None were safe, for the wasting struck both young and old, rich and poor, and it had neither cure nor remedy. This is the story of how the wasting was conquered. Day and night they prayed to their creator with tears and blood. "Hear us, great spirit of light, and show us what we have done. We no longer drink blood nor kill in revelry. These laws and more we have upheld. Tell us our sin, O God, and may we repent." Yet for all their fervor, the Great Spirit did not answer them. "We must seek him out," said one warrior named Armin. "How?" the people asked. "The Great Spirit dwells beyond the sun, where no Fae has ever gone." "No Fae but ourselves," said Armin's brother, the hunter known as Aramor. "And who better?" Armin agreed. "We must, for if the Spirit will not hear us, every Fae shall perish." So the two brothers set out to find the home of the Great Spirit, taking with them Tola the Dreamer and Saril the Seer. Together, these four undertook the long, impossible journey to the temple beyond the sun. In the weeks that followed, Saril guided them down the Queen's byway to the wild, and from there to the Forbidden Peaks, where not even Armor could find sustenance for them. The suns blazed upon their head, their legs became like chests packed with sodden clothes, and hunger tore at them from inside. On the 17th day, Tola fell to the ground with a sharp cry. Aramor ran to her, but she did not respond to his pleas. Her face bore the first outlines of scales, a sign of the wasting. Saril wailed in anguish. "The Great Spirit has abandoned us. We are nothing to him." Armor rebuked her. "No. Our sainted creator would not discard us so. This is but a test of our faith. We are close," said Armor. "We need only reach the peak of that mountain. There we shall find the Great Spirit and end this cure, for Tola and all of us." Saril nodded, though tears dripped from her eyes, for the mountains were tall, and the days were long. Tola regained consciousness, but her scales became more pronounced. Soon she could not bear her own weight, and Armin had to carry her. Then the scales appeared on Armin's face as well. "It is useless," said Saril. "We are not even halfway to the summit. The Great Spirit cares nothing for us." "Silence!" Aramor drew his knife and slashed at the seer. "You will not blaspheme the Creator again." Armin grabbed Aramor's wrist, though his grip was weak and his hand trembled. "Peace, brother. Do not stain your hands for one who grieves. Above all others, we who undertake this journey must not sin. This is the test. Her heresy undermines us, brother. The Creator would relish her death. We do not kill," Armin said down, drained from the force behind his own words. "We must carry on, whatever the cost." For days more they climbed, until Aramor had to carry his brother and Tola slipped in and out of consciousness. Starvation clawed at their stomachs, but the summit was near, drawing them ever onward. They reached the peak. The suns blared on their faces, and the wind breathed cold on their necks. Yet the peak was barren. There was no temple, only a sea of mountains beyond, each taller than the last. Aramor dropped to his knees in despair. Armin fell from his back to the ground. Saril, who had not yet seen, scaled the peaks behind him, then cried in anguish, Tola, no! The brothers turned. Saril buried her face in Tola's death. Tola's skin had turned ashen white, her cheeks follow. Her eyes open, staring out at the vast
Here they
mountain
come.
range, yet seeing none of it. Tola was dead. Saril lifted her face to the sky and cried, Why? What good is any of this? The Great Spirit has disowned us. We are nothing to him.
Light 'em up!
Damn you, seer, said Aramor. Through tears of anguish dampened his face as well. Silence your blasphemy, or I will silence it for you. The Great Spirit does not exist, she spat, or else he is a useless being, unworthy of worship. Your Great Spirit has brought us nothing but anguish. Aramor gripped the dagger at his belt, his knuckles whitening about the hilt. You live only because my brother has spoken for you. Our anguish is caused by you. No, you caused this. We should never have come. If it weren't for your foolish plan, Tola might yet live. She pulled the blade from her sister's sheath and stood to her feet, her chest heaving with each fiery breath. No more. No more will die for your dogma. Saril leapt atop Aramor. The hunter tried to pull his own knife in defense, but it caught in the scabbard. He glared defiantly as the seer brought her blade down on his neck.
Ooh.
Suddenly, she cut short, releasing a strangled cough from her lips. Blood dripped from her chin, and Aramor saw Armin beneath her, 2 hands on the hilt of his own blade, sunk deep into her chest. Armin stood with sudden strength and shoved her back. The blade slipped from her body, and she fell to the ground by her sister, her blood crystallizing in the cold mountain air. Brother, Armor breathed, your skin. Armin looked at his arms, and he touched his face. The scales had fallen, and his strength returned. The wasting had left him. But I sinned. I killed for you. Yet murder is... You murdered a heretic, brother. It is a sign. Armin stood a while longer, rubbing his hands up and down his arms in amazement. Finally he nodded. So the Great Spirit is on our side. Let's press on. It was still many days before they reached their destination. The wasting returned to both this time. As the days passed, their strength fled. Their weapons and packs became too heavy for them and were left behind. They could no longer lift their arms, and their lungs felt as though they breathed sand.
Ooh.
Finally, they crested the tallest summit and saw, silhouetted in the light of the suns, the temple they had sought for so long. With a small, fresh store of strength, they pushed through the doors and stepped inside. A glorious being towered above them, radiating beauty and light. Instinctively, the brothers fell to their knees. Armin was the first to find his voice. O Great Spirit, we have come to beseech thine help for our people. The being gazed upon them, but said nothing. The brothers glanced at each other. Paramore spoke. We have undertaken a long and hard journey to save the Fae. They are beset by a disease, the wasting, which we ourselves may die from even now. We have kept all your laws, Armin said, yet the wasting remains. Please tell us what we must do that we might repent. The Great Spirit did not move. It stared at them for what seemed an eternity. The brothers pressed their faces against the temple floor. We have come so far, said Aramor. We need you, Great Creator. We are nothing without you. Again, silence stretched until the brothers wondered the spirit could even hear them. Finally, though it did not open its mouth, the Great Spirit's voice boomed throughout the temple. I did not create you. Aramin and Aramor glanced at each other in confusion. Surely you did, said Aramor. Thou art the Great Spirit, the god of all flay. I am your Great Spirit, it said, and truly I do rule over all Fae, but I did not create you. The Creator gave its creatures free will, a wasted and squandered gift. For the Fae are a wicked people of chaos and destruction. I have tried to contain you, offering guidance, laws, and teachers, all of it betrayed. The Fae love only death, and I can only try to contain your ruination. No seekers, I will not save you from that which saves the world. The brothers gasped in silence until Armor said, "The wasting, it came from you." The Great Spirit said nothing but turned away from them. The light of the temple dimmed as it did so. "It came from you!" A shout. Aramor stood and leapt at the Great Spirit. Armin did the same, and the brothers grappled their gods, clawing at its eyes and sinking their teeth into its flesh. The spirit howled and tore at them, calling upon the rage of the storm. The doors of the temple crashed open. Gale force winds whipped around them, slicing their skin with debris. Lightning shook the very walls until the floor itself cracked. Yet still the brothers battered and thrashed their Erstat's creator, until finally, with a cry that shook the sky, the Great Spirit fell to the ground. Its blood filled the temple, and the light faded from its eyes. Airmen and Airmore lay next to it, breathing heavily. The scales fell from their skin, and their wounds healed. The wasting left them, left every Fae, in that moment, never to return. "Brothers," said Airmore, "what have we done?" Airman pushed himself to his feet and gazed over the massive body. "We saved us." "But the Great Spirit, we have killed our god." "Not a god, brother. He never was." Airman turned and looked through the temple door to the world beyond. "There is no god but ourselves."
Well done, Chris. Nicely read. I give you a gold star. Hope that didn't give you flashbacks of being called on in school.
I never feared being called on in school.
Apparently he didn't like that.
I need to turn this music down.
There's another one.
Where? Oh, alright. Let's see what we got here. The Nara and the Jubhawk. It was in the days when every animal prepared for the long winter. The Han gathered rocks and mud for its dam. The bush elk collected hay to spread about its den. The Nara curled up the tallest trees, seeking nuts to store in its hole. Phrasing. One day, the Nara climbed a particularly tall tree, a task it disliked very much, for the climb was difficult and the branches often treacherous, when it came upon a Jubhawk lounging in its nest. "Where is your store of food, Master Jubhawk?" said the Nara. "Do you not prepare for the winter?" "I have never had need," the Jubhawk said, with a great shrug of its wings. "But the idea intrigues me, for I see all the creatures of the forest floor running to and fro for days on end." "And so we must," said the Nara with a flick of its tails, "else the winter will claim us." "How charming!" "Oh, not for those poor souls claimed, of course, but all your hard work delights me very much. Perhaps you might be interested in an arrangement. I can see how much you dislike climbing my jub trees. Your body is more suited for swimming, yes? Perhaps instead of nuts you could bring me a particular worm, one that makes its autumn home deep within the Dropper Caves. If you were to bring me, say, 100 of them, I would happily gather the nuts for you from every tree in this grove." "I can do this!" The Nara straightened in delight, for it hated climbing the jub trees very much. Swimming in the pools of the Dropper Caves was much more to its liking. "I will make this deal." Eagerly, the Nara slithered into the cave, slipped into the cold pool, swam through an underwater passage, and entered a dark chamber where only light was the glow of the cave worms the Jubhawk desired so much. There were hundreds upon the walls, and the rock was easily scalable for the Nara, much easier than the cursed jub trees. This will be simple, she thought. It would require a full week to gather all the nuts in the Jubhawk's trees grove, but this will take me but a day. With the Jubhawk's help, I can begin my winter's rest. It, it freaked me out for a second. I saw your silhouette at the top of the screen. I was like, what the fuck is that? Oh, it's you. But the task proved more difficult than the Nara had thought, for worms clung tightly to the walls, and they wriggled and slipped from her grasp. During the swim to the outside, but the evening, she had gathered only half a dozen. Oh, it shall take me weeks to get them all. I must speak again to the Jubhawk. But the Jubhawk was not an understanding as she had hoped. A day's work, and this is all you have achieved? You did not say the worms adhered to the rock, nor that they would squirm away at the first touch of water. It takes a great deal of time to bring even one into the sack. I have never noticed these problems. Perhaps you simply need to try harder. The Nara hissed. I'm sorry, Mr. Jubhawk. Even with the nuts you gather for me, I cannot complete this task and be ready for the winter. But we had an agreement, the Jubhawk scratched its under feathers with one long claw. How about this? I will gather even more nuts, all that you need for the whole winter. But in exchange, you will collect every worm in the cave. Can you do that? The Nara flicked its tails as it calculated. The request would be difficult, but all the nuts she needed for winter? Troublesome thought. Troublesome though the worms were, they were far less trouble than climbing the jub trees, and she would still save time. Besides, yes, she said, I will do this. And so she returned to the work. One at a time, she pried each worm from the wall, and it towed through the water until she was too tired to do more and brought what she had for the Jubhawk that day. After a week of this, she began to dislike the work, but reminded herself that she got to spend her entire day swimming in the cool of the cave rather than in the heat of the forest, and her work would be done with days to spare. All without climbing a single tree, she thought, and perhaps the Jubhawk will enjoy the worms so much that he will make the same offer next season, and I could begin winter's rest even earlier. And with that pleasant thought ahead of her, she smiled and continued to her work. The days grew colder, and so too did the cave pools. The work became slow and difficult. Each sunset, the Nara brought a sack before the Jubhawk, and he redid her calculations. No longer would her winter rest start early, but with the Jubhawk's help, she would survive the winter. And perhaps next season she could start earlier. She noticed another thing, however. Where are my nuts, Mr. Jubhawk? For surely he should have gathered some by now. The Jubhawk waved a casual wing in the air. I can gather more in a day than you can in a fortnight. It will be done. But, she said, her slender body quivering with anxiety, the nuts will not remain forever. They must be gathered before they fall. Dear Nara, which of us lives in the jub trees? The Jubhawk's feathers puffed out as it took off offense. Perhaps you should spend more energy on the worms than misgivings, for this deal pleases me, and it would be nice to do it again next year. The Nara smiled at that and slipped away. The Jubhawk was right, of course. He knew his trees better than she, and next year she would be even faster. In any case, it was too late for the deal to change now. There was no time left for her to collect the nuts she needed by herself. With the Jubhawk's words in her heart, she returned to her work with even greater fervor. And by the time the first winter clouds loomed on the horizon, she returned with the final sack and placed it at the foot of the jub tree. Jubhawk, she called. I have the last of them, every worm as promised. The Jubhawk flapped down, clutched the sack in its talons, and flew it back to its nest without a word. The Nara waited, but he did not reappear. Mr. Jubhawk, said the Nara, a shiver of worry niggling at her tails. The great bird poked its head from its nest and looked down. Of course, I apologize. Thank you so much, dear Nara. This arrangement has been quite a pleasure. I look forward to continuing it in the future. And he dropped a small bag from above. The bag landed near the Nara's head and spilled forth a mere handful of jub nuts. Hardly enough for a week, let alone the winter. The Nara hissed in agitation. Where are the rest, Mr. Jubhawk? You promised all I need. Jubhawk walked out onto a great branch with a sad look upon his face. I'm sorry, dear Nara, but I flew here and there all day, every jub tree in every grove, and this is all I could find. All day, the Nara said. What of the other days? The Jubhawk did not appear to hear her. Here, he said, take a few of my worms, for I surely do not need them all. And he dropped the sack that the Nara had brought him that day. The Nara scowled. I cannot eat worms. But the Jubhawk had returned to his nest already and disappeared. The Nara called until the clouds rolled in and the sun set, but the Jubhawk showed not a feather. She returned to her burrow with the scant nuts the Jubhawk had given her. Even eaten sparingly, the nuts were gone within the month. It was too cold to gather more, but the Nara had little choice. She slithered far and wide in the snow, searching for any food that she could eat. But all the food had been frozen or gathered, and all the animals holed up for winter. The snows fell and the cold worsened, and the trusting Nara froze to death before she could even return home. Moral of the story, trust is for fools.
You depressed yet?
This place sucks. Alright, I assume you found all the stuff?
Mm-hmm.
You went in all the doors?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Kia! Why is his bowl glowing? What is this?
So if you have that purple corruption on you, you can use these to get rid of it.
Oh, okay. Well, that corruption faded long ago. Ow. There you go, get double bled, bitch. Ow. Bitch, I can do that too. I
Does it
dare
what
say.
all this stuff is in this one, or
Say what?
does this say what all this stuff is, or should I go like figure out the lore from the first?
You don't need to know the lore for from the first one, really.
Oh, okay.
Just know shit went bad. There you go. You're all caught up.
One trait.
No room for that.
Disposition of Venice the Butcher, unabridged. This is the disposition of Venice the Butcher as taken by Advocate Savin. This version has not been submitted to the court due to the fact that it is inadmissible. It is recorded here for posterity only. Q. Please state your name and occupation for the record. A. I am Venice, the Butcher of Meats. Q. Mr. Venice, you have been accused of murdering Thalos the Binder. Is this true? A. That is what... That I've been accused or that I murdered him? Q. former? A. Then yes. Q. And the latter then? A. Also yes. Q. In that case, what? Wait, did you just admit to your guilt? A. I did not. Q. But you admitted that you murdered Thalos, did you not? A. I did murder him, but I'm not guilty. Q. I'm afraid I don't understand. A. That's not a question. Q. Alright, let's start at the beginning. In your own words, tell me what happened between you and Thalos on the night you were found with his body. A. Like I told them before, I was waiting for my friend at the library when Thalos gets up in my face about some nonsense. We had words, I pulled my cleaver, and he backed off. But he didn't back off. If you know what I mean. Q. For the sake of this disposition, assume that I don't know what you mean. A. What I mean is that he took a fright and backed away, hands up and all, but he wouldn't stop trying to control me.
What the fuck is
Q.
that thing?
And how did he do that, Mr. Venice? What did he want you to do? A. To silence me. Q. You mean he wanted you to be quiet? A. Exactly. Q. In the library? A. You trying to mean something by that? Q. So you brandished your weapon, he backed away, and then you killed him. Is that accurate? A. Because he wouldn't stop telling me what to do. Yeah. Q. Yet you believe you are not guilty, that you are justified in his murder. Why is that? A. The Fae are free, aren't they? Advocate? What's freedom for if I can't take up arms when someone's up in my face? Q. What about Thalos' freedom? A. About what? Q. Well, you are alive, and he is dead. You took his freedom away. A. Oh, isn't that a sadist way of looking at it? Listen, he could have drawn a weapon, the same as me. He could have defended himself. Anyone in that room could have defended him, but none did. Their freedom, their choice. Q. So, for the record, you believe it is your right to draw a weapon and take someone's life, knowing that murder is against the law, and yet you believe you are not guilty of breaking that law. Is that correct? A. Let me ask you something, Advocate. Q. This is a disposition, Mr. Venice. I must ask questions. A. Off the record, then. Q. Fine. The portion of the disposition will not be submitted to the court. A. Who made the law you say I broke? Q. The one true king and the council. A. And what gives them the right? Q. The law gives them the right. A. So the laws give lawmakers the right to make laws. You see how that turns on its own head? Q. But without law, we cannot have a functioning society. We only have chaos and anarchy. A. And what good is a functioning society if the people in it aren't free? Q. We are free, Mr. Venice. That's the whole point. Those who follow the law. A. Those who follow the law, you see. And what if I don't agree with it? Where's my freedom then? No, if the Fae can't take up arms when they want, then only the king and council are free. Q. The Fae can do as they will, Mr. Venice, but without consequences. A. Damn the king's consequences. The bastard's nothing more than a tyrant. Q. We're off the record, Mr. Venice, so I will ask you plainly. We both know you belong to a terrorist. A. Ha. Q. A group devoted to overthrowing the one true king. It is clear you don't agree with his policies or rule, but for my sake. Do you truly believe there should be no consequences for murder? You believe Fae should be allowed to kill Fae without consequences? A. Oh, there's a consequence. The weak die, and the strong survive. Listen, the only true freedom is absolute. Anything less makes us slaves. Q. Then if I choose to serve the one true king? A. You make yourself a slave. Q. Well, I have to admit, Mr. Venice, you are persuasive. I believed all Fae to be basically the same, that all valued life equally, even if we sometimes disagree on what value meant. But I am convinced. A. Good. Won't be long before everyone sees that the king... Q. The king believes we are monsters. I had thought him entirely misguided, but you have convinced me otherwise. And if we do not allow ourselves to be ruled by law, then we submit to being ruled by monsters like yourself. And I am afraid I can no longer defend you, Mr. Venice. You are on your own. End disposition. Amendum. While awaiting his trial, Venice's body was found in a cell, hanging from the ceiling with a note that read, "Freedom or death." This disposition was, therefore, never submitted to court. Off the record. Surely you don't believe there should be consequences. You're just doing your job because you're afraid of what the one true king will do to you. I believe life is sacred and that everyone sees that. Sure, life's sacred, especially mine. I have to admit you're changing my opinion. I had thought all Fae worthy of defending, but you're going to hang.
All right then.
Yeah.
Who's this dude on the pile of bones? You gonna start juggling? He's got Tyrio wings. I'll say this, is pretty good at juggling skulls. Nice, if I could emote, I would. Oh, you give me a magic quill. Thanks, buddy. What does the magic quill do? Doesn't matter what ink is used, the magic lies in the implement, not the medium. The portal could be drawn in ink or water or blood. It could even be carved into the stone itself. Ah, so that's what we needed for these. Interesting.
What were you saying, Seth?
I forgot what the melee button was. I figured it out.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty damn cool.
What was your guys' class that you picked?
I went with medic as my first one, and then whatever my second one is, I can't remember. I made like a paladin.
I went with the hunter.
I'm a medic and challenger. That's what I am.
Wow.
I just picked challenge. That helped.
Not a bad one to take. Yeah, Chris, this is a terrible place. Everybody's such dicks to each other. I don't want to go that way. That looks like normal progression.
Uh-oh.
What's uh-oh? Did you start a conversation?
Kind of.
Should I be here?
Probably. Walk ahead.
Are you
Walk
in
onto
it?
the podium.
Are you in the
I'm
conversation?
not in a cutscene.
Oh.
Just walk up.
Hello.
Hail, stranger.
Hello.
I am Sivan, speaker of the one true king.
Sauron called. He'd like his look back.
Your nature and business for the record, please.
Your nature, yes. What are you exactly? You're not one of the... well, what do they call themselves? The Dran, are you?
It's none of your business what I am. I'm a human from Earth. I'm not of this world at all, actually. Never mind, I should keep moving.
It is precisely our business, beast. We are the Council of the One True King, the only remaining ruling body of the Fae. Here, your life lies upon but a thread, interloper.
They are a foreigner, Onril, and unfamiliar with our ways. Petitioner, your identity remains your own, but you must state your business before the council.
What should my business be? I have no business. I'm just passing through. I'm looking for entities of great power. Should I lie or tell the truth?
It's up to you.
I shall lie.
Oh, you see, it wastes our time.
Alright, I'll catch you guys later. I'm gonna...
I had hoped for more
Yeah, some
stimulating
things to take care
distraction.
of real quick before I head to
If
bed.
that is all you have
All right,
to say,
good night,
petitioner, then
Seth.
please step aside.
See you guys.
We have quite enough troubles to occupy our time.
What are the troubles you're having? I'm sorry for taking up your time. I'll go. I'll ask what the
You have
troubles are.
wasted quite enough of our time, foreigner. The Fae have far more important concerns than you before us.
Hold a moment, Onaril. Perhaps this stranger could be of use to us. The Fae presently live in fear and uncertainty, stranger. The one true king has been usurped by an impostor, aided by one of those seated before you. But we know not which. As an independent party, you might find
now we have to do a
where we have failed.
detective thing of who done it.
Will you help us?
I'll need more information first.
That is wise. You are under no commitment unless and until you choose to make an accusation. That said, should you come across sufficient evidence, you are permitted, within certain conditions, to accuse one of those seated here.
I accuse all
Body
three.
will consider the accusation.
A great tragedy, stranger. For eons, the
Okay.
Fae and this council have faithfully served the one true king. But alas, his rule has been curtailed.
The impostor, Phelan or Phelan or whatever they call themselves now, placed the king in an eternal slumber from which he cannot be woken.
The king was attacked in his own
Is it
chamber.
King Oberon?
Behind this very door. The impostor could not have entered without aid from a member of this council.
But, of course, we all have our alibis, as you can imagine. None of us were here. This has been proven many times.
If you can find any evidence tying one of us to this tragedy,
I like
or
how
to
they're
the
so
impostor,
nonchalant. Like, look, it was one of us, but we
then
don't know.
justice might be done.
It won't be enough, Savan. The impostor still sits
Arrogance.
upon the
It's
throne.
like
Yet,
place
it will be a
step one.
and a necessary one toward restoring
What are you
order
eating?
among the
Pretzel goldfish.
It means you're not Fae, and your life is easily forfeit.
Ah,
Please, Onaril. Stranger, we will discuss the conditions of your accusation if and when you choose to make one.
so can you like? No, I was gonna say, can you make a choice like right now?
We do not. This farce does nothing.
Peace, Onaril. The law is clear on this point, as you well know.
I will answer your question, stranger. With a traitor among us, trust has shattered. If any of us were to produce evidence at this stage, it would be suspect by all.
And rightly so. Either of you would love any excuse to remove me from the council.
And you do not wish to hold half the council's power yourself, Onaril? You cannot pretend it isn't true.
Regardless, stranger, you are not from this world. Either of these worlds.
I like this
So
lady. She's
any
just so
evidence
laid
you
back.
bring would be free from the suspicions which we have cast upon ourselves.
Precisely my point. This foreigner may have any number of reasons for accusing any one of us.
Which is why, if and when evidence is produced, we alone will pronounce the final judgment.
And if that evidence has been falsified, tainted, how do I know one of you has not paid this interloper to act on your behalf?
Onaril, only you assume that everyone is as unscrupulous as yourself. Not everyone seeks power at any cost.
Very well. I will judge it when I see it. I trust no one, but I trust the two of you less than this foreigner.
Ah,
We now know that the impostor approached each one of us at some point, whispering promises of freedom and power, trying to poison our minds against the one true king.
He only said what we wanted to hear. Pity one of us listened.
Can you blame them, though? The imposter imposter called out important truths.
Is that an admission of guilt, Niall?
If you would allow me to finish. I was saying he called out important truths that we must take to heart, despite the poison that obviously
I thought
accompanies.
Fae were supposed to be like
We would do well
beautiful
to address
creatures.
the flaws
They look like
raised
they-
by the imposter.
they honestly they look like
But I find
Uruk-hai.
it difficult to cast blame on anyone
With armor
who
on.
thought there might be a smoother path towards doing so.
And yet that path has led to ruin. We have merely
They have the
exchanged
armor
one
on, so you
tyrant
don't
for
really know what they
another.
look like.
I'm just looking at the
But our feelings on the outcome
facial
are
features
irrelevant.
that I can see.
This council must be absolved of guilt if we are ever to restore
The skin
order
is
to
a
the
little
Fae.
gross. I see your gun. You're just aiming at
They are a
them.
monster. They care nothing for the welfare of the Fae.
Nor those of us who serve the Fae.
Nor for the law.
I have
On
a
this
scope,
we
so I was
all
able to get a
agree.
closer look.
The
Ah.
imposter's plan should never have been carried out.
And what then? Continue to work with these traitors? No. We must know who betrayed us.
Alas, we do not know.
So they don't know
There's
how
no
the king
blood,
was put to sleep. They
no
just know he
wound
was
that
put
we
to
can
sleep.
see.
Not that we were able to investigate the scene fully.
At your request, Onariel. I cannot trust either of you backstabbers nor anyone you might call to serve us. Were those not your words?
They were indeed, and the sentiment holds.
Regardless, it is unknown even what could harm the king. For it is said that no mortal weapon can kill him.
And many have tried.
The king has ruled over the Fae as long as anyone can recall. He has always been a guiding force, both in our world and our lives.
Some believed he was too much of a guiding force.
More than some. Yet, look at us now. The king sleeps, and our world is spun into chaos.
Indeed, it would seem his life is more entwined with our world than anyone knew.
Imagine what would have happened if he had been killed. Oh, of course! How could we have been so blind? The genius of this foreigner, who is so much more clever than all of the Fae together.
Please, Onariel. Their question is academic curiosity. The simple answer, stranger, is magic of a kind more powerful than any here have yet seen. We suspect the imposter's conspiracy went even deeper than this council alone.
Which is why we must identify which of you is the conspirator here.
Good. Be gone.
Chris, I don't like any of them. Let's just kill them all. I think they're all guilty. What's this way? Oh. You bitch.
We got company. Stop now!
Oh wait, is this?
Wonder what that is.
This is what I think it is.
It's like Medusa came through here. Ooh. Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel.
Found out about this one the other day.
What happened to these
I was,
guys? They burned?
Yeah, they burned.
Oh yeah. They got
They-
Mount Vesuvius. What? Oh. Oh, that's a dead end.
Don't worry, he's focusing on me.
Okay.
And I out.
I see somebody with a lantern. Ow!
Oh no, I fell. I immediately died. That wasn't good.
Yeah, I dodged that attack, but I guess not. Ooh! Ooh!
I like died,
Yeah, you did.
and the big guy still.
Yeah. I still haven't found a way out yet. Not good, not good, not good, not good.
That door. You can open that door.
Yep, yep. I'm getting hurt, though, a lot. Nope. Because I was moving real slow. Let's go fight him again.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I don't know why I fell.
Well, at least the door should be open.
And people
I'm coming. So that's poison down there. And there's that bitch. What? What? How the fuck did he one-shot me?
Because he's vicious.
How the hell did he even catch up to us? Like, fucking A, he's got like lightning. And I burned to death.
I got cut in half with an axe, so
Well, he cut me long ways. Did he cut you sideways?
yeah, he did actually.
I saw some angelic motherfucker over here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna draw them to us.
Got them both. All right.
was gonna say, is that just a side room or?
Yeah, this is a side area here.
You know, I honestly forgot sliding was a thing. So this guy's got like a super run.
That'll slow him down. Should at least.
She's dead. He's catching up. Come on. Yep, door's open. Open. Yoink! I stole your shit, bitch!
Well, I mean, we still got to deal with him.
I know, I'm just opening the doors. Alright, the way back to the main area is open. Where is he?
He's down the stairs. He's coming. Is he not coming?
I think he got stuck. Oh, now he's coming.
I don't think he's like. I don't think his AI is letting him actually leave down there.
All right. Well. Oh, that's the wrong thing. We found a cheese. Great success.
I think we're good.
Oh, that was cheese.
I don't
That
give a
was
fuck.
pure cheese.
Yeah, whatever.
I appreciate the cheese, but that was pure cheese.
We found it by accident.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been okay with that if we had done it on purpose.
How did we get that?
Go over here and climb.
What are you?
I like that.
It's an
The
ornate flail.
Flail. Pop all the bodies.
Oh, okay, hold on.
They sometimes drop money. And then there's just the area that the boss guy actually walked out of.
You know, it's funny too because there was like a bunch of like explosive barrels and whatnot that we could have used. think that witch that was down here, I think that was his wife. He killed her ass. I helped.
Well, that should have given us another mutation.
Maybe we missed one.
No, it gave us steadfast. Charged melee attacks cannot be interrupted and gain 5% damage reduction from all sources. And then at level 10, all damage taken during a charged melee attack is converted to gray health.
I don't see steadfast.
It's a melee one.
Oh, what? It was a mutator?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind. Oh, and we got a new ring. I don't even know what the ring is.
Sapphire Dreamstone. Critical hits reduce skill cooldowns by 4%. Can only happen once every 2 seconds.
Shit, sometimes you just get critical after critical, so.
Well, plus there's things you can do to increase your critical hits and... But that was the Executioner.
Well, he dead. We executed the executioner. You alright?
Yeah, I was hitting the charred bodies.
Oh, you swinging your axe in the corner like a madman. I ran by here, grabbed the ring, and just kept going.
That's what you gotta do sometimes.
To smash and grab. Just go, go, go. Why were all these charred bodies here, though?
Well, I mean, a lot of them were on, like, pedestals, so... You gotta imagine somebody was enjoying gloating over the dead bodies of their fallen victims or some bullshit.
It's just fucked up, yo.
Have you seen this place?
I have. And we've read many of their books. It's a terrible place. And again, that's most Fae. Most Fae are assholes. Oh my god, the fart. I'm on fire. I'm okay. That's okay. I'm back to being okay. Was there anything down that ramp?
There was a chest in there, but I got it, so...
Take that handgun ammo. Behind us. Ooh, that axe is powerful. I think their weak point is the face, or at least the area that looks like it's a face.
So, some of them, the weak point's the head. Others are wearing helmets specifically to avoid the head weak point, but the head is still their weak point. It's kind of bullshit, but that's why helmets are a thing, yo.
Ow! What the fuck? Oh, you horrible. We got another executioner guy.
Yay, stagger force for the win.
Is it, does it mean that
We
we bullied
success-
him?
Yeah, we successfully stun locked his ass.
That's where we came from. Might switch my weapon. I like the Tommy gun, but maybe it's time to try something new. Owie! Ow! Get fucked.
I like just sidestepped his spear thrust. But no, it's a huge improvement in this game that they made over the first one where melee is like a viable tactic. Because in the first one, it had the melee.
Yeah.
Same as this game, but like there weren't enough things that actually made it doable.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see what's over there. And so are you. Secret tunnel? Oh, I was hoping. Ooh, parkour! Wah! I love I shot him in the head and then you were like, axe.
Ah, the celebratory fart is...
I think the sword thing mixed with your lightning does that.
Well, so the lightning does overload.
Yeah.
It's the status effect that makes you like explode in a puff of electricity.
Yeah, I know that.
And that's the special ability of the axe I'm using, is it does overload on a charged melee. makes it easily one of the most powerful melee weapons, just because you can like, there's amulets that add bleed to melee attacks, like charged melee attacks. Then there's mutator for melee attacks that is tainted blade, and it adds corrosion effects.
Basically, you can just be a walking status effect dealer.
Yeah, and one of the classes they added, one of the archetypes they added with the DLC, is all about like stacking status effects.
Well, it's fucking effective. Bleed, bitch. I just love that fucking AoE. Yeah, that's what you get, you anime looking motherfucker.
Yeah, Edgelord, the Dark Souls character right there. I think it makes it worse that he's also technically a fairy.
Hey, it's right, buddy. Wait, this charge attack, that's technically an AoE. Does that get affected by that trait that I'm pumping points into?
I think so. I'm not sure. Because you're pumping amplitude, yeah?
Yeah, there you go. I just put another point into it. So now it's... I'm on level 4? Yes, 20% AoE size and range. And I have a ring that causes a bleed when I do a charged melee attack, so... That's why they're getting the double bleed. Just looking at the map real quick. Okay. Fuck this desk.
We should be doing like a big loop. If...
I believe we are. And I think we're coming to the end of the loop.
Honestly, that's the best thing about that AoE, is that you can just break all the stuff.
I see something shimmering. Like a door. Is it a book?
Let's see here. The Truth of the Solarians. We arrived at the Solarian mountain community on the 13th day of the Turn of Depths, which has decorated the cliffside road, some no older than a few days, and the smell of feces struck us long before the village.
That's disgusting.
Of the Ceruleans themselves, I knew only that they were rebels, perhaps terrorists, led by a firebrand who had rejected the one true king and his laws. They reject all law, you had said. I expect them to have killed each other by now, yet they live on. You are the only one I can trust, Nimleth, the only good among all your people. I must know whether the Ceruleans' defiance leads them to prosper or wither. Are they hope for your kind, or despair? And so I came prepared for objectivity, but also for the worst. For my love for you was brazen and sure. The sight of the village did little to dissuade me. Their homes are but dead branches balanced into precarious piles. Their farms are little more than yellowing potted bushes and trees. The streets are virtually paved with excrement, and the Fae who live here are sad, hollow creatures. I had seen enough. These were not the hope of the Fae. If anything, they were proof of the need for law. The order to turn around was on my lips when we were attacked. Malnourished as they were, the Ceruleans overpowered us, slaughtered my royal guard, and held me to the ground with 5 spears at my throat. That was how I met Shandala. She stood over me, blotting out the sun. She was as emaciated as any of her people, yet her eyes glistened, and her countenance bore a furious strength I had never seen in a Fae. I know why you're here, she said. The one true king hopes to wipe us out. I spat at her. I came to observe, to judge. But whether you kill me or not now, your actions have ensured your destiny. She frowned, seemingly uncertain what to make of me. We have only defended ourselves. By murdering my delegation? Kill me too and be done with it. There is no need, for you are not like the others. She grabbed the head of one of my dead guards by his hair, turning it so I could see a tattoo on his neck. The Amsilla, symbol of the royal executioners. You say you came to observe, yet you travel with assassins. Words left me. I did not know they were assassins. I had thought ours to be a mission of peace, their duty defense only. After several seconds of my silence, Shandala said, "Take her away." They left me inside a small tent of stretched dropper hide. I don't know how long I sat there. Hours? Days, perhaps? My thoughts were my prison. I could think of no reason for you to send mercenaries with me, let alone to keep their presence secret from me. I could think of no explanation to exonerate you. The suns rose and fell before I found strength to move. I was cold, and the smell of roast meat and canyon peppers shook me from my stupor. I pushed open the flap and saw a small bonfire in the center of the village.
I guarantee it's a lot better
There was
smelling than that feces.
There was no guard. All the Ceruleans sat at the fire. Tentatively, I stepped out and walked towards the flames. Several of them saw me, yet paid me little attention. The fire did not feel like a celebration. Jubhawk meat turned on a spit, but no one sang or drank or told stories. They sat in several isolated groups, muttering between themselves about nothing. On the opposite side of the fire, 2 began shouting. One drew a knife and sliced the other across the throat.
Jesus
Then
Christ.
he sat back down and wiped the knife on his leggings as though nothing had happened. No one reacted, not even to move the body. I was wondering when you'd emerge. Shandala appeared next to me. I jumped in fright, my full attention fully absorbed by the murder I alone seemed to notice. She followed my gaze. Still observing us, are you? I thought I was a prisoner, I said. We don't keep prisoners. She gestured to me to follow as she walked to the corpse and dragged him to the nearest slope. We don't restrict freedoms here. That's the whole point. We will not repeat his tyranny. She dropped the corpse down the hill and into the dark. The one true king is no tyrant, I said. He loves us. He protects us. From what, pray? I gazed into the dark as though I could see the corpse on the road below. From ourselves. Shandala sat on a log far from the others. She indicated for me to join her. Tell me truly, what is the one true king to you? I met her eyes and was surprised to see empathy rather than accusation. My savior, I said, and I told her how my uncle used to beat and violate me, until the day I was rescued and placed into your service. Shandala did not speak for a time. The firelight glinted off the tears on her cheek. I'm sorry you had to go through that, she said finally. No one should have to face such horrors. I owe him my life. He set me free. Free to serve him, you mean? She placed a hand on mine. I do not belittle your rescue. That was a good and needed thing. But you are still not free. Not truly. I serve because I wish it. Is that show? Shandala asked, though not accusingly. And what if you wished otherwise? Would he grant it to you? Would he let you live here, for example, free of all constraints? Or would he send his mercenaries to retrieve you? Her meaning was well taken. I don't know. I've never wished it. Yet I do, she said, and so do all who live here. And his answer was assassins. I did not know what to say to that. There must have been a reason. Her laugh came like the song of cherry doves. Oh yes, all things happen for his reason. Is that not so? We harm no one out here, yet he will not suffer anyone to live outside his reach. Your existence causes others to question, I said, knowing this to be your utmost concern. He worries about those who might fall under your influence against their best interest. But not against their will. Her face grew stern. But not, I thought, because of me. He fears what will happen if the Fae question him, yet unquestioned belief is mere dogma, and service in fear of punishment is slavery. Her words struck true, and I immediately saw the danger in them. In that moment, I understood why you sent assassins. I stared into the fire. The flames leapt past the roasted jubhawk, licking the night air with both destruction and warmth. I, too, was beaten and violated, she said. Not by my uncle, but by my father, a member of the council. He believed he was doing the king's will, hurting me when I misbehaved, punishing the fayness within to make me good. Now it was she who stared at the fire, her eyes glistening moist in its light. I killed him. I freed myself. But that is not how the council saw it. She turned to me, her gaze so sharp and demanding that I had to look away. You say he loves us, yet he kills those who displease him, giving them no hope for repentance. Is that how you treat one you love? I had no answer. A piece of jubhawk meat fell into the fire, sending up a cloud of sparks and choking smoke. I said nothing. The one true king believes there is inescapable evil in all of us, Shandala continued. He tries to control it, to drive it out through fear and punishment. That is not love, but abuse. The choking smoke cloud consumed the jubhawk. Still, I said nothing. Shandala's words suffocated my own. True love, Shandala said, her voice softening, is unconditional. It wishes others joy and freedom, knowing that the former cannot exist without the latter. That is why I fled. That is why I created this community. Here, we are free. There is no king here but ourselves. But your village is sick, I said, still not deigning to look at her. Corpses on the road, excrement in the street, murder in front of your very eyes. She nodded through all of it. I know. We are not good. Not always. And some of us not ever. But, has the king's subjugation uprooted our evil? Or does it merely hide it? Goodness cannot be forced. It must be learned. Practice like an instrument, where one has the freedom to make mistakes and learn from them. True love does not track the evils of others. It hopes for good instead. The smoke that had consumed the jubhawk meat now lifted, dissipating in the air. Stars glittered through the blackness like shining festival lights. There is good here, friend, Shandala said, and more will come. Stay with us a while and see. She stretched out her hand, though I could hardly see it through my tears. I placed mine in hers, our fingers together. I did not know what I would see, for her village of rebels was, and is, truly sick in many ways. But I have never experienced this love she spoke of, true and unconditional. I want to try. So I return your messengers back to you, Lord King. The Ceruleans removed his tongue. I could not stop them, but I could give him this tale for your eyes alone. Please do not send another. These are my people, as all Fae are my people. I will not turn my back on any of them. Least of all those battered by a system I helped to maintain. You did rescue me, and for that I am forever thankful. But my love requires more. I must discover what that is.
Nice. And I found one last book. Oh, never mind. It's the same story I already read. So, it was of the Nara and the Jubhawk. I have done a A loop?
Yeah, we got to go into the.
The shining, shimmering splendor.
Yeah, the mirror.
Oh, new world. Something, something, something to some. So we're in the negative. Ow, bitch! Fuck it, I'll take a free heal. Flash out.
I don't like the looks of this.
There are 2 more books here. The Feast of the Forest King. I already read that one.
Gloaming Thoughts of the One True King was that other one, which I don't think we've read yet, but I hear an enemy nearby. Alright.
Oh, that's something gross. My challenger is now level 5.
Alrighty. Gloaming Thoughts of the One True King. These are the words and thoughts of the One True King, ruler and protector of this world and all the Fae, as transcribed by Laywise the Scribe. I put these thoughts to pen so that if something should befall me, the Fae might still have some chance at survival, if they would but heed my wisdom. I will say it plain. The Fae are not fit to rule. I do not speak from hubris or contempt, it is simple fact. If the Fae were to rule the Fae, chaos and destruction would inevitably follow. They are a volatile decoction, most suited for entropy, and act best when guided towards some predefined purpose. As their eternal protector and the guardian of this world, it is my life's duty to provide the world's safe harbor from both external threats and from the Fae themselves. It is my duty to protect the Fae from their own worst proclivities. I record these thoughts, then, as a history of the Fae for the Fae's own sake, for no being exists who knows them and loves them as well as I. Okay, a lot. Birth of the Fae. I did not create the Fae. On this point, I must be clear, for my words may be easily misconstrued. I have watched over this world since the first mode of it existed, but I am as much a product of its creation as the Fae and everything else. The Fae came with birth of a storm and vigorous from the start. Powerful winds leveled rock and threw them. Lightning struck fields and turned them to ash. When the storm passed, it left both life and destruction in its wake. I thought the Fae animals at first, predators perhaps, for they hunted and killed with no small skill. Yet, as I watched, I realized they hunted more for sport than meat. They would often pounce on a kill and eviscerate it, then leave the corpse to chase the next one. It was the chase they hunted more than the prey. I do not know nor understand what sort of entity would create such beings. I cannot fathom the thinking of a creature so powerful that worlds to them are like songs, created, performed, then cast aside to make room for the next. What I did understand was that if I did nothing, the Fae would destroy every living thing and themselves until I alone remained, guarding an empty sphere. If indeed even I survived their predations. So I interceded. From me they learned to stand, to speak, to dream. But try as I might, I could not shift their nature. Thus I too learned from them. I learned what it meant to rule the unruly. I learned that evil can only be subjugated through cruelty, and that the wild cannot be tamed, if they do not wish it. I, now, am subjugated to them as much as they are to me. For were I to leave them for but a moment, the devastating storm that birthed them would surely in some form return. I fear that my words will be construed as petty condemnation, but I assure you there's nothing petty about the Fae. Read on and gain wisdom. The Craft of Responsibility. I established rules for the Fae, responsibilities, rewarding them for good performance and punishing them for a lack. This is how they will learn. I thought through structure and duty. Once they see their work has value, they will be all the more devoted to it. For some, this was indeed the case. My counselor, Nimue, while not Fey, still took to her role splendidly, as did certain members of the council, but these proved to be exceptions. I made one an architect. For centuries she crafted the most glorious structures for her people, gilded pillars and marbled halls, yet she also crafted devious traps and tombs to ensnare and murder the unwary. I could not stop her if she gloried in it. And though all she created was truly beautiful, so much of it was deadly as well. Or my chef. I first encountered him slaughtering livestock and decorating the trees with their entrails. The kill was not enough for them. He needed the sights, the smells, the taste. I thought perhaps he might take to the artistry of cuisine, and indeed he did. But if I am not careful, if I even once accept a plate from his kitchen without asking its origins, I will find myself feasting on intelligent flesh, sometimes even that of his fellow Fae. I know, for it has happened many times.
Yeah.
You may think these examples anecdotal, unrepresentative of the whole. Surely you, my dear reader, can repress your foulest impulses. I assure you the opposite is true. For I have story after story of my beloved Fae children who inhabit their predilections only to stay out of trouble, only so long as they believe I am watching. Even good Laywise here does turn, his craft to diabolical contracts, tricks, and even murder when he thinks I am not looking. Yes, he laughs even as he writes this, for he knows it's the truth. The Fae are good people, or can be, but not without one to watch over them and care for them. This has been proven to me many times over centuries and centuries, and never more than with those closest to me, as I will tell you now. Dreams and nightmares. All of the Fae are violent, chaotic creatures, and I have contained each one within spheres in which they are useful. And to the most powerful were given the most useful missions. To make the best use of their abilities, but even more so that I could watch more closely over them. For even among the Fae, a dangerous and tumultuous people to begin with, there are those who pose a threat as great as the storm that birthed them. There is the goddess of dreams, the so-called Night Weaver. Hers is a necessary task, for the volatility of the Fae permeates their very dreamscapes, threatening to leak into the waking world. The Night Weaver is adept at her work, guiding the Fae through pleasure and passion and sorrow. But I can see her true desires as clearly as my own. her penchant towards fear, her taste for the darkness. Her I must watch over constantly, lest the Fae suffer night and day, lest she find joy in their terror.
Huh.
And there are others. The council members who would murder the other two if she, or the council member who would murder the other two if she thought she could get away with it. The mixed child and his mother, one safely subjugated, one who I fear will never be. The advisor who plots against me, even now, even knowing such plots are in vain. Given half a chance, any of these would grind their brethren under their heel. These, of all the Fae, must remain closest to me at all times.
Huh. So he
What
didn't
must
even
become of
trust
the
him.
Fae? Yeah. What must become of the Fae? There are those who accuse me of tyranny, of cruelty and oppression. They are not wrong, for without an iron fist, the Fae will destroy themselves and all around them. Left to their own devices, they would consume everything, leaving a dying husk of a suffering world collapsing in on itself. They delude themselves, as if I don't know what they're plotting or what they speak about behind closed doors. My closest confidant thinks I know nothing of his intentions to destroy me and take my place, but that is why he is closest to me, so that I know his intentions best of all. By my own laws and bolstered by the power of this world, I cannot be killed. Not by them, not by any means they have available to them. Yet I fear this one in particular will find a way. All of the Fae are obdurated and savage, but my dear counselor is infinitely clever as well. If a way can be found, he will find it. And if I am destroyed, this world will not survive his rule. That is why my words must be recorded and these secrets known. There are those among the Fae capable of the wisdom to see within themselves and the strength to change what they find, who will require a tight rein and a selfless resolve, but it can be done. I pray to whatever being created us that I am not wrong in this, for if the Fae are incapable of change, then we are all of us truly doomed.
Huh. So, do you think it's the male counselor dude, or is that talking about somebody else?
I believe that's talking about somebody else.
I believe I cleared all the bad guys that were statues. Oh, bad. So what are these? These are keys?
Yeah, so look below your, like beneath you. I think we gotta match them up to the right pedestal.
Oh, okay. Well, pink one goes here. Yep. There we go. I love the whole, you did it! Oh, hey, it's that dude. I'm gonna go steal that ring that's back there. I'll leave the shattering stuff to you. Hey, buddy, don't mind me. Assassin seal.
If you turn around and look up here, there should be a way to get up there.
Yeah, it looks like I could jump.
Yeah, you wanna go there.
Oh, what's this then? Assassin's dagger. Assassino. The assassin's dagger. It's hard to believe so small a weapon could have such a profound effect. A small teal jewel is set into the hilt, carved with an ornate diamond-like crest.
So we know who did it.
Do we?
Yeah. Because that seal is one of the counselor's symbols.
Oh yeah, well, I'm looking at it right now. Oh, here it is. By the deepest of Fey law and magic, for the one true king could not be harmed by any weapon forged and wielded by the Fey. But within every law is a loophole. Some among the council saw this as well as I. Oh, we're fighting.
No, I'm fighting. You're good.
Okay. That's
Oh,
like-
wait, there's a chest back here.
It's like you threw that sidearm ammo at me. He's got a fucking gnarly looking face.
So, the one of the 2 DLCs,
Uh-huh.
he's the boss of.
Ah.
So it's a different. It adds a 3rd run to this area
Oh, okay.
where you fight. You end up fighting him as the boss, and it's like a completely different. It's the same world area,
Yeah.
so it has like the same dungeon pool and stuff, but it ends up being like its own. It has its own like overworld area.
It's this one.
Yeah.
That's the symbol.
So
What was her name?
the symbols will be on there when we go
Oh.
talk to them again.
Okay. I thought there'd be a boss fight here. Parkour. We did a lot of reading and a lot of cinematics tonight.
Yeah,
It's okay.
and we've like smashed through half of this area. I don't think we have quite a bit more to this world to go, but we've smashed through quite a bit of it. Like we're handling it no problem.
Yeah. It's fine. Let's go say like, hey, this was you. This is your dagger. You did the stuff.
Yeah, you got to get off soon, huh?
Yeah. Alright, yeah, who was that one? You.
Yep.
Oh man, it was the laid back one. I liked her. Wait, no. Is it her? No, she's the laid back one. Look at her.
Yeah, she's the laid back one. The one on the right's the helpful one, and the one in the middle is the dick.
You return. I trust you have purpose here. Tread carefully now, stranger. For Fey law is strict and swift, and you stand to accuse one of its highest-ranking members.
Yep.
If you accuse one of us, you must have evidence, new evidence, to support your claim. The penalty for frivolous accusations against the council is steep.
It is death, foreigner. Swift and immediate.
Are you prepared to make an accusation according to our laws?
I am prepared to make an accusation.
I don't know whether I should root for the guilty to be found or for your own execution, foreigner. Either would be amusing. Proceed.
You know, I had a feeling it was going to be Savan.
Well, it's
Oh?
it's random.
You are aware I am the head of
Yeah,
this
well-
council, are you not?
I figured it was random,
What proof do you bring?
but it's just like when I saw her, I was like, yeah, well, there you go.
That symbol. Savan. Is it true?
It's always the one that I like.
Is.
I knew it. I am appalled that you would cast aside the law for that tyrant.
It was for the law that I helped him. The king was a tyrant too, flouting the law at every opportunity and using us as his shields. I did not foresee that the imposter would be the same, if not worse. I submit myself to your judgment.
We will see that they go easy on you.
We will not, Niall. Whatever the outcome or her motivations. Savan has committed treason.
Death!
If the law is to have any power at all, we must carry it out to the letter.
Onoril is right.
I like how she's just like, yeah, I accept it. Oh, shit! Damn.
You have performed your task sufficiently, stranger. Though I fear for what this council has now become.
Come now, Nael. We have found common ground before.
Not enough. But we must move forward. Stranger, take this in thanks for your service to the Fae.
You're welcome.
I should not be grateful for
an
the death
ornate
of any
blade.
Fae, but I am relieved.
We did it! Celebratory fart. Can we go into the king's chamber? No, the door's closed. What does the ornate blade do?
It's another sword.
Swad! An intricately forged, elongated swad designed to keep stronger enemies at bay while remaining light enough for agile maneuvers. Oh, and wait, we got a ring too? Oh, the Assassin's Seal. Reduce enemy awareness range by 25%. Increases all damage dealt to enemies not targeting their wearer by 10%. Shall we? Awesome.
That's where we are.
The Mechanic's Cog. Alright, you know what? I think this is a good stopping point. We did stuff.
Yeah. We did a boss and then a dungeon and read a bunch of